Hey, welcome! Race day is 7 weeks away. This is week 3 of half marathon training, and I am still adjusting to low heart rate running. Oh boy, this week 3 started out with a long, very discouraging run that I thought would never end. But stay with me because I'll show you how I got a little creative along the route to try and fight some of the boredom. And what's a training week without a few other surprises along the way? On hill training day, I had to stop and ask a stranger for a little favor. Race pace day brought a bit of a mileage mix up for me. Be sure to stay to the very end because we have a little fun while I try to manifest future success for this little YouTube channel. Let's start with the long run. Zone 2 running or low heart rate running made 14 kilometers seem like 114 kilometers. I guess I would describe it as brutal. It was, oh, sorry, I still have my nose strip on. It was terrible. It's cold. It's very, very windy. I think it's gusts to 50 or 55 kilometers per hour. It was a very, very hilly route I picked out, and purposely because the race route that I registered for, the half marathon, is very hilly. So I thought, well, I might as well do my long runs on hilly routes. This 14 kilometers that I just did today, focusing on the low heart rate and trying to keep my heart rate below 130, which was next to impossible for me, took 2 minutes. Oh, sorry, not 2 minutes. Took 2 hours and 7 minutes. The exact same amount of time it took me to run a half marathon, 21 kilometers, several years ago. I am not convinced about the low heart rate training at this particular moment in time. I'm trying to trust the process and believe that it will work out, that combined with the speed work through the week. But like the first half was terrible. The first 7 kilometers, it was all uphill and it was all the wind in my face. Here's my check-in at that halfway mark. I am at the halfway mark of my 14 kilometer run. It has been, in complete honesty, it has been horrible. That whole 7 kilometers I was running into the wind. It was pretty tough going, and I think my heart rate's going up because I'm worrying about and stressing about my heart rate. So I think I just need to kind of chill out a little bit with the whole thing and just go, as they say, I forget what it's called, the perception of exertion. I think I'll just go on what feels like a slow pace instead of focusing too much on the heart rate. Now, maybe it will be different with the shift in my direction here and not going against the wind. We'll see how this goes. I got to remember the name of my channel is Lead Your Living, and I'm not doing very good leading right now. We'll see how the rest goes. That second 7 kilometers was a little bit different because I turned and so was going a different direction. So the wind wasn't at my face. It was either coming to the side or behind me, which was, oh my goodness, 200% better. In the last video, we talked about calculating your heart rate range for each of the zones. And so this is a look at mine. And for zone 2, I should be between 119 and 131.5. So in the end, I was pretty darn close to that with an average heart rate of 132 beats per minute for the entire 14K. This is much harder than I thought. In the second part of the run, I was fighting boredom. And we all know as we run, our mental health or our mindset is just as important, if not more important than our physical fitness in some ways. And so I was so bored because I was taking tiny little steps, going so slow that I thought, well, what can I do? So I started to do little side steps and then lifting my legs up high and just to fight sheer boredom. And I thought it's probably going to drive my heart rate up a little bit, but I had to do something. Then I got really fancy with this little sidestep maneuver on the side of the road. Yeah, I need a little work with the camera. Oh, that's a bit awkward. I'm supposed to be aiming for my feet here. But you get the drift. Anyway, it's done. It took me forever. My husband met me halfway with some hydration, which is great. Oh my goodness. I was so glad to see that vehicle coming over that hill. And so now I am going to, I don't know if you can see over here, this is what I have planned, my cup of tea and one of the most delicious gluten-free lemon scones you could ever imagine. They're made by my sweet neighbor, and she often makes them and brings them as a little treat. And I'm going to sip this tea, have my scone, and 2 after 8s. I can't think of a better way to end the afternoon run. Day 17. So I'm just back from my 4K steady run. It went well. It went really well. I actually think I haven't really checked yet, but I think I kept within my heart zone. Here we are. This is like take 3. I did one outside and realized that I cut my head off. I wasn't even in the video frame as I was recording. So I rushed in here to do it over and just did a nice, what I thought, really good take of it. And apparently I did not press the record button. Oh my goodness. All right. So for the third time, your first time, my third time. Just back from my 4K steady run today. It's Tuesday in week 3 on the training schedule, and it felt good. So steady run means I'm supposed to, I also realize I still have these in my ears. Steady run means I am supposed to start in zone 2 and keep it in zone 2 for the first few minutes, and then for the majority of the run to stay in zone 3, and then to finish up going back down, get my heart rate into zone 2 again. So the majority of the run in zone 3 means for me, I could get up to 142, 143 beats per minute, which is very exciting. Also, the other thing today that I said in my other 2 takes that you didn't see is this training schedule, I'm having a lot of first time experiences. So as I said in my introductory video, which if you haven't seen that, you really should watch it because it explains a bit of my background. And one of the things that I include in there is that I've not run or I've not trained for a race since 2019. I've done some little local 5Ks, but not ones that I've had to train for over the years. But I've not actually trained for a 10K or a half marathon since 2019. And I've run a lot of races over the years. But for the first time, this time, I'm not tired at the end of the week. And today I woke up and I thought, first thing I'm thinking, okay, like what day is it and what's on the running schedule? And when I realized it was 4K steady run day, I was excited. I was up at 7:30. Yeah, that doesn't usually happen for me. I was up at 7:30 and I checked out the heart rate zones to say, okay, I had to get the numbers in my head so I'll know where to stay. And then off I went. Yes, so it was 4.22 kilometers. And my average heart rate was 138 beats per minute. Woohoo, yay me. I'm very excited about that. I'm excited for a bunch of reasons. One, that it is in this low heart rate training schedule, and I'm staying on track with that. But the thing that I'm most excited about is it was not a huge effort. I was glancing down at my heart rate, but it felt like I was starting to be able to feel when I was going a little too fast and when I had to slow down. And so that all went really well. The other thing that I have really appreciated today, and I've been seeing this for a while, but again, today I could bring my heart rate down pretty quickly. And the way that I bring my heart rate down pretty quickly, I have a little bit of a 2-step process. One, I try to just start to breathe slowly through my nose. And you can see my other videos, I've talked a lot about nose breathing. It's a thing. It's a valuable thing. And if you are a runner, it is something that you should check out. Even if you don't incorporate it into your running, there's so much value in incorporating it into your everyday life that will improve and benefit your running. So to get my heart rate down, when I notice it creeps up, the first thing I do is I think, okay, concentrate on my breathing. And I'm running and upright because you need to have good posture to breathe properly. And so I take a breath in for maybe 3 seconds. It depends where I am in the run, how long or short these breaths are. In for 3 seconds and then out slowly for 5 seconds. And I do that a few times. And I make sure my out breath my exhalation is a little bit longer than my in breath to try and get my heart rate to slow down. Quite often that's enough to slow it down. If that doesn't, then obviously I will walk or really slow my pace down, but I will continue with that breathing and it's working quite nicely. So I hope it continues to. Training day 18. Just getting ready to head out for my hill training, and I'm trying to tell myself my new mantra is for the warm up. I got to do 3 kilometers running up to the hills, a slow warm up, and then 3 kilometers cool down run after the hills. So I'm trying to remind myself low heart rate, low and slow is the way to go. We'll see how this goes if it gets any easier. Obviously not for the hills, it's not going to be low and slow, but my run to the hills and then my run back home. Here's hoping I can remember that and keep my heart rate down.
I use little rocks to help me keep track of the number of hills. What do you do?
Okay, my hills are done, 7 hills, and I'm just on my cool down run home, but you can see I'm not running. I'm just trying to get my heart rate down a little bit. It went well. The hills went well. They are hard. I mean, there's no getting around it, but we're runners. We can do hard things. We're not afraid of hills.
You know, you live in a small town when you stop and ask a stranger if they will video you running up and down the hills. And so now I used some good judgment and some safety awareness. I made sure I asked somebody in a well-labeled work truck so that if they took off with my phone or something, I would know where to start looking. But that wasn't a concern of mine. They were very obliging, and they parked, and then he got out to video me going up the hill, and then a great big transport truck came and he had to move his vehicle. So we got one video of me going up the hill. So thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I'm not fast going up them. The first one, I felt like I was flying. And then I realized, oh, it's probably because I was feeling a little nervous and self-conscious that a stranger was taping me. So I probably was saying to myself, I had to look fast, because I noticed by the hill number 2 and hill number 3, I was significantly slower than the fast hill. 4, 5, 6, and 7 seemed to kind of even out or whatever, but I think the first hill was really my fastest, and it's probably because I was a little self-conscious that I was being taped or that someone else was watching me. So anyway, that's good. Whatever it takes to give us a little push. Training day 19.
Okay, so today is a 7K race pace.
Well, in my head, that's what it was supposed to be. Had I checked the schedule, I would have found something different, but I don't learn that until much later in the day.
This will be very interesting. I'm actually a little nervous with all of this focus on low heart rate training. In some ways, I feel like I'm training to be a slow runner with this focus on low heart rate training. Anyway, we'll see how it goes.
I am just back from my 7K run, and phew, very warm. It's not warm outside. It's about 1 degree Celsius, but no wind, a little bit of wind, but not bad. So it felt good. I felt that I was going at a good pace, but I'm a little disappointed when I just looked at my pace. So I went 7.58 kilometers, and my pace was only 6:28. I wanted my pace to be around 6 minutes per kilometer. However, I ran in town, and I usually go from where I live. I usually go the other way, like out into the more rural area, but I did run into town. And one of the great things about living in a small community is you always run into people you know. So I stopped and had, let me just think, 1, 2, 3 short little conversations with people. And I mean, I didn't just slow down and say hi, I like actually stopped and had a conversation. One of those conversations went a little longer than I was expecting. So I stopped watched partway through the conversation. But regardless, look at me making excuses for my slow pace. There were a couple of things. So all that considered, the 6:28 wasn't bad, because I did keep glancing at my pace. I was trying not to look at the heart rate, because this was not a this was not a slow run. So yesterday the mantra was low and slow is the way to go. Oh, there's a lot of mind stuff with running. Today that would not be the right mantra. I don't know. Do you say mantra or mantra? Makes me sound fancier if I say mantra. Maybe I'll say mantra. That was not the mantra for today. So I tried not to look too much at my heart rate. It wasn't a huge effort, and I wasn't feeling like I was at my top level. I could have probably pushed myself a little bit harder, but I was a little nervous because it feels like I've been doing a lot of slow running. And anyway, it's done. It felt good. I have to sign off because I'm jumping on to a Zoom call with the Oxygen Advantage group. Patrick McEwen is doing a master class on nose breathing and running. So I'm really excited to learn more about that. I actually, after I did my whole little experience myself of learning and studying everything I could about nose breathing, just became such a believer. And I just experienced such a big difference, especially in my recovery. It changed. It changed a lot for me as far as running goes. So I became such a champion of it that I actually registered with Oxygen Advantage and then went on to study and get my certified functional breathing instructor certificate. So I'm looking forward to this Zoom call. I'm sure I will learn lots. Many hours later that day, I realized my mileage mistake. And I just realized I made a mistake this morning. I was supposed to do a 6K race pace, and I actually did a 7K. I think I did 7.5K race pace. Now I'm just annoyed at myself that I did 7.5 instead of 6K, which was what was supposed to be on the schedule. Oh well, here we are. Live and learn. We'll get back on schedule. Day 20. Day 20 was a rest day, and I spent part of it with my camera, chasing these beauties around. Then we were chasing the rainbow on a little road trip. Training day 21. The last run of the week was my slow 5 kilometers, and I was able to do it in a new little location as we were on a little road trip visiting my mom. Some things don't change despite location. Okay, here I am, walking again. I'm not sure how this is all going to turn out. I wish maybe if I wasn't doing it in real time, I could say, oh yes, and this low heart rate training worked wonders. I had a great run. I have not a sweet clue how this is going to work out. The scenery was beautiful, our visit was great, and the run once again was very slow. But my heart rate stayed where it was supposed to. After a week of running, I was looking down and I'm thinking, I think it's time for new sneakers. These are not looking so good. Yay you for making it this far. Let's end with a little fun. See, this is me practicing for when my YouTube channel gets big enough that I actually get sponsors. So this is me manifesting, that this video would be sponsored. Oops, I should probably show the right side of the box. So that this video would be sponsored by After Eights. It's not. This is, again, me manifesting for when my YouTube channel gets big enough that I will have sponsors. You know, getting me ready for when the big money starts to roll in. I probably need more than I was going to say 200 subscribers that I have, but I don't even have 200 subscribers. I think I have 180. So if you're listening to this, give me a like, leave a comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Thanks. Maybe I should be manifesting success with my race instead. Okay, week 4. I hope to see you there. It will drop next Wednesday at midnight.